Right, friends, we'll take our next standard, accounting standard 19. What is accounting standard 19? No, it is accounting for leases, the most important standard for the exam, right? Very, very important standard for the exam, right? So, accounting for leases. See, what we learn in the standard, there are many learning objectives in the standard. Layman version. Also, what is the meaning of the term called lease? Classification of lease into two parts, that's called operating lease, and second is called nothing but finance lease. वो हो गया classification of lease. How to do accounting treatment in case it is an operating lease, how to do accounting treatment in case it is a finance lease, and the last one is nothing but sale and lease back transactions. ये सब चीज़ें सीखेंगे standard में, slow by slow will go. So I am just reading for you. Most important topics are nothing but what's classification of lease. This is important for theory also. This is important for what? Theory. Theory के लिए भी बहुत important है. And how to record the asset in the books of lessee if it is a lease called finance lease. I'll explain you. So learning objectives क्या क्या है देखिए एक बार. Learning objectives to understand the classification of lease right now, that is into operating lease and finance lease. I'll explain you why. To understand the accounting treatment of leased asset in the books of whom, sir? Lessee. देखूंगा why. That if the lease is of what lease? Finance lease. To understand how the P&L account should be, how the profit and loss account should be booked in case if asset is sold and lease back. How the profit or loss should be booked in case if the asset is sold and lease back. ये तीन चीज़ें हैं एग्जाम के लिए. So I am teaching you from exam perspective. Exam के लिए these three topics are really, really important. The whole standard itself is nothing but what's important right now. See, if I'm not wrong, what do you mean by lease? A lease is nothing but it's a contract between two parties. That's called lessor and lessee. The person who gives the asset is called lessor. The person who takes the asset is called nothing but what's lessee. जो asset देगा वो हो जाएगा lessor, जो asset लेगा वो हो जाएगा क्या sir? Lessee. Now, what is the purpose of lease, sir? The purpose of lease is nothing but what one person gives a right to use the asset by the other person. The person who gives the right is called nothing but what's lessor. The person who takes the right is called nothing but what's lessee. समझा देता हूँ आप लोगों को ऐसे कुछ डिफरेंट तरीके से समझाता हूँ. 1 minute. Right, have a look, sir. So what is a lease? Lease is a contract. Lease is a contract between two parties. टू पार्टीज, दो लोगों के बीच में अग्रीमेंट है. अग्रीमेंट फॉर व्हाट और कॉन्ट्रैक्ट फॉर व्हाट? यू कैन से कॉन्ट्रैक्ट और अग्रीमेंट. इट्स एन अग्रीमेंट और कॉन्ट्रैक्ट बिटवीन टू पार्टीज. दोस टू पार्टीज आर कॉल्ड नथिंग बट व्हाट, सर? लेसॉर एंड लेसी. लेसॉर एंड लेसी. से लेसॉर इज मिस्टर ए एंड लेसी इज व्हाट मिस्टर बी. एक एग्जाम्पल बोल रहा हूँ, सुनो. लेसॉर इज व्हाट, सर? मिस्टर ए. लेसी इज व्हाट, सर? मिस्टर बी. So what does the lessor does? Lessor gives the asset. Lessor क्या करता है? He gives the asset. That is, he gives what, sir? Right to use. He gives the right to use the asset, and in return, what does Mr. B does? Mr. B makes lease payments. Mr. B क्या करेगा? Lease के payments करेगा. Do you agree? In simple terms, it's a rent contract here. Simple terms, right now. So a lease is nothing but a contract between two parties, say lessor and lessee, where the lessor gives the asset to the lessee for using the asset right now. So lessor asset दे रहा है, lessee asset ले रहा है. So what is the benefit to the lessor? Lessor gets what's a lease rentals. What's the benefit to the lessee? Lessee can use the asset without purchasing the asset. Getting or not, sir? अभी imagine I'm running a coaching center. I need not run a coaching center in my own building, right? Because to have a own building, I should have a lot of capital, which I don't have. Example sake. So if I have capital, I can purchase my own building. If I don't have my capital, I can take a building on rent. Right now, this contract of taking a building on rent is called nothing but what's a lease. Am I clear, sir? So this is point number 1. Point number 2. So lessor is the person who gives the asset, on lease. In simple terms, he makes the right, he gives the right to use the asset, and this right is given to whom? दिस राइट इज गिवन टू लेसी. लेसी को ये राइट मिलता है टू यूज द एसेट, राइट ना. पॉइंट नंबर 3, व्हाट इन बाय लेसी? लेसी इज द पर्सन हु टेक्स द एसेट, who takes the asset on lease, who takes the asset on lease, right now, and he makes payment of what, and he makes payment of lease rentals, and he makes payment of what, sir? Lease rentals. TO to whom, sir? Lessor. Do you agree? Now fourth point you should understand is lease may be in relation to tangible asset, or it may be what for what, sir? Sorry, lease may be for what, sir? Movable asset, or it may be for what, sir? Immovable asset. But accounting standard 19 applies only for non-cancelable lease. Non-cancelable lease. Sir, what is my non-cancelable lease? A period within which an agreement cannot be cancelled. Suppose if I give my asset to you for a period of say 3 years, and it is very clearly written in the agreement that this contract cannot be cancelled within a span of 3 years, then to that lease agreement, that lease agreement is said to be what, sir? Non-cancelable lease agreement. Am I clear? If a lease can be cancelled at any point of time, right now, by giving a prior notice, in that case such steps, no doubt that is also lease contract, but accounting standard 19 does not apply. So remember very simply, AS 19 do not apply for two cases. A, where the lease is a cancelable lease, मतलब जो lease cancel कर सकते हैं by giving notice, or where the lease is of land. For land, this standard does not apply. See, there are many other cases. Imagine extracting coal or extracting natural resources. Government of India gives right to many companies to extract. Even for those type of lease contracts also this standard does not apply. Why? Because this standard does not apply to a situation where right is given for extraction of natural resources. For that, industry standards will apply. ठीक है ना sir? One more I will write, sir. AS 19 will not apply in the following 3 cases. 1, for a cancelable lease. 2, where the lease is of land. C, where the right is given for extraction of natural resources, right ना. natural resource मतलब वो natural gas रह सकता है, petroleum crude रह सकता है, right ना, gold reserves रह सकते हैं. So where the right is given for extraction of natural resources, this standard does not apply. Am I clear, sir? So what is a lease? Lease is nothing but a contract between two parties called lessor and lessee, where one person gives a right to use the asset which is called lessor, and the person who takes the asset is called nothing but what's a lessee. So for the lessor, he gives the asset and he gets lease rentals. For the lessee, he gets the asset and he makes what's a lease payments. Am I clear, sir? So the standard will apply only when, sir, when the lease is a non-cancelable lease. If the lease is a cancelable lease, this standard does not apply. ये सब पूछेगा नहीं फिर भी. Now most important point for you. A lease can be broadly classified into 2 categories. Very, very important. A lease can be broadly classified into how many categories? 2 categories. One is called finance lease. One is called finance lease. Second is called operating lease. एक क्या हो गया सर? एक हो गया finance lease. Second हो गया क्या सर? Operating lease. समझाता हूँ. See, when a lease can be classified as finance lease and when a lease can be classified as operating lease, there are certain conditions given. Just remember, sir, if a lease is not a finance lease, then it is called as what, sir? Then it is called as operating lease. Now, when a lease is called as a finance lease, obviously AS 19 has given some conditions. If one or more of the following conditions, are satisfied, then you can classify the lease as what, as a finance lease. Sir, what are those conditions? That we'll discuss slowly. If one or more of the following conditions can be satisfied, then you can classify the lease as what, sir? Finance lease. अब ध्यान से सुनना है. What we are learning now is nothing but classification of lease. So I am going to the next page. When a lease is classified as finance lease, matlab when a lease contract, you can say that this is a finance lease. I'll tell you what is the importance of finance lease slowly, not now. धीरे धीरे समझेंगे. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 conditions ICAI has given. Condition number 1, condition number 2, condition number 3, condition number 4, condition number 5, or you can say 5 cases also. If a lease contract meets any of the 5 conditions, right, you can always classify the lease as what, sir? Finance lease. अब ध्यान से सुनना है. The first condition is what, at the end of lease term, the ownership is transferred to whom? The ownership is transferred to the lessee. If at the end of lease term, if the ownership of the asset is transferred to the lessee, in that case, lessee is buying the asset. Indirectly, the contract of lease is not really a contract of lease, it's a contract of installment payment system. Please try to understand. If at the end of lease term, suppose if I am giving the asset to you and the contract is there for a period of 5 years, at the end of 5th year, you are supposed to buy the asset at the end of lease term, then gone the case, it's an example of what lease? Finance lease. Matlab indirectly, I am buying the asset for you, giving the asset to you, and you will be making what payment to me? Lease payments to me. Indirectly, this is nothing but installment payment only. If at the end of lease term, if the ownership of the asset is transferred to whom, sir? To the lessee, then you can classify the lease as what, sir? Finance lease. Am I clear? Condition number 2 क्या है देखते हैं. Condition number 2 is nothing but at the end of lease term, an offer is made to the lessee to purchase the lease asset. See, here the word is what, offer. At the end of lease term, an offer is made to the lessee that if he want, he can buy the leased asset. And the offer price is so low that it's almost like reasonably certain that he will buy the asset. Like example, I'll give you a car on lease. The original cost of the car is how much? 10 lakhs. I have given you on lease for a period of say 5 years. At the end of 5th year, I am giving an option to you. If you want at 20,000, you can buy the car. Will you buy it or not? Just think coolly, you will understand. 20,000 में कौन सा कार आता सर? कोई भी नहीं आता. But if I am giving an option to you that at the end of 5th year, if you want to buy the car, you can buy or not? Yes. Did I kept the price really high or very low? I kept the price very low so that you will definitely buy the asset, right now? So at the end of lease term, there is no obligation on the lessee to purchase the asset, but you have made an offer to the lessee saying that if you want to buy the asset at the end of lease term, you can buy the asset. Am I clear? And the price is so low that it is obvious that the lessee will buy the asset. There is a reasonable certainty that at the end of lease term, the asset will be bought by whom, sir? By the lessee. Am I clear, sir? So first one is like an obligation on the lessee. Second is like an offer to the lessee, right now. So these are the simple 2 points where the ownership of the asset will get transferred at the end of lease term. First one is ownership will be certainly transferred. Second case, ownership will be transferred on reasonable basis, right now. Condition number 3. The leased period is almost equal to economic life of the asset. See, don't say life of the asset, use the term called what, sir? Economic life of the asset. Like example, sir, imagine laptops are given on lease. Example, sir, what you can expect a life of a laptop? Max to max 3 to 4 years. After that, they'll become old. They may not function really well as per the requirement of the time. Thereby, if an electronic item, say laptop, is given for a lease, say for a period of 4 years, it's almost given for what, sir? Economic life. So ICAI says, or AS 19 says, if an asset is given for most of its economic life, then gone the case, you can classify the lease as what? You can classify the lease as finance lease. Why? After the completion of economic life, no one can use the asset. Suppose if an asset got an economic life of say 5 years and the lease period is say 4 years 9 months, gone the case, you can classify the lease as what, sir? Finance lease. Am I clear, sir? That goes with the condition called condition number 3. Condition number 4 is nothing but what, or situation number 4 is nothing but the lease assets of so special nature It's of what nature? It's of so special nature that only lessee can use it. That only who can use it? Lessee can use it. See, if I am preparing an asset for you only for your requirement, as per your requirement, then whatever expenditure I have incurred on developing the asset, will I recover from you or not? अभी कोई asset आपके लिए बना रहा हूँ according to your customization or according to your requirement, whatever expenditure I have incurred on developing the asset, will I recover from you or not? Right. So therefore, the standard says if the lease asset is of so specific nature that only lessee can use it. Right now, gone the case. You can classify the lease as what, sir? Finance lease. If the asset can be used with minimum or minor modifications by someone else, then this condition is not relevant. It should be certain says that, like example, hospital building. Who can use the hospital building? Only if you want to run the hospital. So if I am giving a building to you on rent, which is designed for a hospital, then obviously it becomes a lease of so special nature that only who can use it? Lessee can use it. Am I clear, sir? Okay, condition number 5. This is what they will ask in your exam. Condition number 5. The present value of minimum lease payments is almost equal to fair market value of the assets. You will not understand this condition now. I will explain you slowly. Am I clear? If the present value of minimum lease payment is almost equal to what, sir? Fair market of the asset, then you can classify the lease as what, sir? You can classify the lease as finance lease. So one by one, 5 conditions are there. We will see one by one. Was the first condition? At the end of lease term, the ownership of the asset will be transferred to whom, sir? To the lessee. Or at the end of lease term, there is an offer given to the lessee that if he want to purchase the lease asset, he can purchase, and the price offer is so low that is reasonably certain that he will purchase the asset. Am I clear? Third, if the lease period is almost equal to the economic life of the asset, so if an asset can be used say for a period of 8 years and the asset lease period is say 7 years 8 months, then you can simply classify the lease as what, sir? Finance lease. Or the lease asset is of so special nature that only lessee can use it. In that case, you can classify the lease as what, sir? Finance lease. And last one is nothing but time value of money का कुछ concept आएगा. The present value of what, sir? The present value of MLP is almost equal to what, sir? Fair market value of the asset. ये धीरे धीरे हम लोग समझेंगे. There is no hurry to understand this concept. We'll understand. So if any of these 5 conditions satisfied, then gone the case. You need to classify the lease as what, sir? Finance lease. Am I clear? Now don't forget a small note. Small note. अब ध्यान से सुनना है. Note number 1. The above 5 conditions. The above 5 conditions or cases are only illustrative in nature. Or only illustrative in nature. मतलब ICA क्या बोलता है? These are not the only condition that you are supposed to see. मतलब don't restrict your brain only to these 5 conditions. Each cases, each lease agreement has to be inspected on its own, inspected for classification. For what, sir? For classification. Thereby in principle, if risk and rewards, thereby in principle, if the risk and rewards in relation to the asset, in relation to what, sir? In relation to the asset are with lessee, are with whom, sir? Lessee, then the lease can be classified as what, it can be classified as finance lease. So in principle, if the risk and rewards of a leased asset are with whom, sir? If they are with the lessee, then you can classify the lease as what, sir? Finance lease. So these are 5 conditions which will be tested in exam. अब ध्यान से अगर पूछेगा तो आराम से लिखना पड़ेगा. Am I clear with this, sir? Now let us understand few more things. Right ना, आगे चलते हैं और कुछ समझते हैं. So what will happen if the lease is a finance lease? That you need to know, right? मैं समझाता हूँ आपको. अब ध्यान से सुनना है. In case if lease is classified as lease is classified as what, you know, finance lease. In case if you have classified a lease as what, sir, finance lease, then अगर उसको finance lease में classify किया है, then what do you need to do? Then as per substance over form principle, as per what, sir, I'll write neatly, as per substance over form principle, we need to recognize the asset in the books of whom, you know, lessee. ये कुछ अलग सा पॉइंट पढ़ रहे हैं, ध्यान से देखो. Now what does AS 19 says? If a lease is classified as a finance lease, in that case let the asset be recognized in the books of whom, sir? Lessee. We know he is not the owner. Though he is not the owner, please recognize the asset in the books of whom, sir? Lessee. Now what does ICI says? Therefore, as per AS 19, as per accounting standard 19, such asset should be recognized. Such asset should be recognized at lower of the following values. Lower of the following values. At lower of the following values. What is that? A. In दोनों में whichever is low, you have to recognize A. At present value of minimum lease payments, that I will explain you, or B. fair market value of the asset at the inception of lease. At the inception of lease. Sir, what in by inception? At the beginning of the lease period. This amount or this amount, whichever is low. Am I clear? Now if you don't, मतलब एक बार समझते हैं कि what we are reading, you know, what we were learning is classification of lease. A lease can be classified into finance lease or what's our operating lease. What in by finance lease? I said there are certain situations, if you meet those situations, then the lease can be classified as what's a finance lease. If not, the lease contract is what type of agreement? It's an operating lease. When a lease can be classified as finance lease, if any of the following 5 conditions are met. What is the condition? At the end of the lease term, the lessee is under obligation to buy the asset, or at the end of lease term, there is an offer given to whom, sir? There is an offer given to the lessee to purchase the lease asset, and there is a reasonable certainty that he will buy the asset right now, or the lease period is for the most economic life of the asset, or the lease assets are so special nature that only who can use it? Only lessee can use it, or without major modification, right? Or the present value of MLP is almost equal to what, sir? Fair market value of the asset. Now what is this point? This point I did not explain you much right now. Now what does the ICI says? As per accounting standard 19, whenever you classify a lease as a finance lease, following substance over form principle, you need to recognize the asset in the books of whom, you know, we need to recognize the asset in the books of lessee. मतलब जो asset ले रहा है, I know the lessee is not the owner of the asset. Thereby using which form? Using substance over form principle, we recognize the asset in the books of whom, sir? We recognize the asset in the books of lessee. At what value should I recognize? You should recognize the asset in the books of lessee at lower of the following value. What is that value? Present value of MLP or fair market of the asset, whichever is low. Now how to solve this, that I'll explain you right now. For this, what entry will write in the books of whom, sir? What entry will write in the books of lessee? Lessee books में क्या entry बनेगी? At the inception of the lease. At the inception, at the beginning of the lease. The entry should be nothing but what, sir? The entry should be leased asset account debit. Leased asset account debit. जो सर आपने लिया है लीज पे वो TO2 lessee lessor. Leased asset account debit, TO2 lessor account credit. This entry he will write in his books. Who will write? Lessee will write this entry in his books. What is the entry? जो asset लिया है, that asset TO2 what, sir? He needs to make the payment to lessor na, TO2 lessor account. At what value will recognize the entry? He will recognize the entry at this value. What value? Lower of present value of MLP or fair मतलब the asset at the inception of lease, whichever is low. Am I clear, sir? So to understand this more deeper, let us understand few terms. Now, what is few terms? We'll understand, huh? See, there are few terms that you need to understand. Point number one, what do you mean by lease payments? Lease payments का मतलब क्या है? See, lease payments are nothing but under the lease agreement. See, whenever you take a building on rent, will you agree for monthly rentals or not? Every month we'll be paying 20,000 as rent. Every month we'll be paying 5,000 as rent. So those monthly rents which are agreed to be paid under the lease agreements are called nothing but what's lease payments, right now. So lease payments can be is nothing but three. ध्यान से सुना है, आराम से सुना. Lease payments can be of three. One is called regular payments. Regular payments as agreed by whom, sir? As agreed by lessee. Regular payments as agreed by lessee plus guaranteed residual value. What do you mean guaranteed residual value? I'll explain this. Plus it also includes what, sir? Unguaranteed residual value. Now what is this? I'll explain. Point number two. What do you mean by guaranteed residual value? See, guaranteed residual value is nothing but what, See, if I give my asset to you under a lease, say for a period of 4 years, when the asset comes back to me, if you don't want to really buy the asset at the end of the term, when the asset come back to me, it should have some scrap value or not? अगर चलो scrap भी हो गया है, it should have some scrap value. I am expecting that scrap value should be minimum to minimum 40,000. Now I'm asking you, you please give me a guarantee that if you don't buy the asset at the end of lease term, and if I sell the asset to an outsider at the end of lease term, I should get a minimum to minimum how much, sir? 40,000 rupees. If I am not able to recover 40,000, then the differential amount I will recover from whom, sir? From the lessee. So what is guaranteed residual value? It's a guarantee given by lessee or any third party on behalf of lessee. On behalf of whom, sir? Lessee. Towards what, Towards the residual value at the end of lease term. At the end of what, sir? Lease term. So, sir, explain again. I'll explain you. See, I'll tell you human psychology. Our asset we'll use very carefully. Someone's asset, we don't give that care. Why? We feel, hey, we are not the owner, why we should use that carefully? So imagine, I am the lessor, you are my lessee. I give the asset to you, I give a car to you. 40 lakhs worth of car I give you on lease for a period of 4 years. At the end of lease term, say after 4 years, I'm expecting that when the car come back, it should have a minimum to minimum 10 lakhs value. Because if you are not ready to buy the car at the end of 4 years, then when the car comes back to me and if I sell this car to an outsider, minute how much should I get? 10 lakhs. That guarantee I'm expecting from you. So if I take that guarantee from you, you will use my asset carefully. Because if I don't take that guarantee from you, you will do rough use of my asset. To avoid rough use of the asset, I take a guarantee from you that at the end of lease term, I should get minimum to minimum how much, sir? 10 lakhs. Suppose after 4 years, the asset come back to me, I sell the asset to an outsider for say 8 lakhs only. But what is the guarantee given? 10 lakhs. How much I am able to recover from outsider? 8 lakhs. Balance 2 lakhs I will recover from you. Am I getting or not, sir? So guaranteed residual value is nothing but an agreement where the lessee makes a promise to the lessor. So this is the guaranteed residual value. If not, differential amount I will pay to lessor. Am I clear, sir? So this is called guaranteed residual value. Now what is the unguaranteed residual value? Unguaranteed residual value. UGRV क्या हो जाएगा? It is the expected residual value for which there is no guarantee. For which there is no guarantee. Example बता देता हूँ, देखो. Example, the estimated residual value at the end of lease term is say 5 lakhs. But how much guarantee we have? We have a guarantee for only 4 lakhs. Thereby how much becomes unguaranteed residual value? 1 lakh becomes unguaranteed residual value. Residual मतलब कब? At the end of lease term. How much the estimated value of residual, मतलब जब एसेट बेचेंगे कितना आएगा? 5 लाख. उसमें गारंटी कितने की है? 4 लाख की. So how much is unguaranteed? 1 lakh is called unguaranteed residual value. Am I clear, sir? So what is lease payment? Lease payment is nothing but what, sir? Combination of three things. One is called lease payments as agreed by whom, sir? As agreed by lessee, plus any guarantee given by whom, sir? Lessee. It also includes what, sir? Unguaranteed residual value. So for lessee it may be a payment, for lessor it may be what, sir? Receipt. So lease payment includes lease receipts. Don't confuse yourself. Now what is a guaranteed residual value? It's a guarantee given by lessee or by any other third party that at the end of lease term this will be the guaranteed residual value. What is unguaranteed residual value? A residual value for which there is no guarantee is called nothing but what, sir? Unguaranteed residual value. Am I clear up to here, sir? Okay, थोड़े और आगे जाते हैं. What do you mean by MLP? Minimum lease payments का meaning क्या है? Minimum lease payments, MLP. सुनना है ध्यान से. See, MLP is different from lessor and lessee. From the lessee perspective, what is MLP? From the lessor perspective, what is MLP? देखते हैं. From the lessee perspective, MLP is nothing but सुना आराम से. A, it is nothing but lease payments. Present value नहीं बोल रहा हूँ. Lease payment. Say if the lease contract is for say 5 years and at the end of each year you need to pay 1 lakh, 1 lakh, 1 lakh, 1 lakh, 1 lakh. Simple भाषा में lease rent रहे. So how much is the lease payment? 1 lakh plus 1 lakh plus 1 lakh plus 1 lakh plus 1 lakh. Put together 5 lakh is what, sir? Lease payments. Am I clear? B, guaranteed residual value when at the end of lease term. Right now, this guarantee may be given by whom? This guarantee may be given by lessee or it may be given by any third party. On behalf of whom, sir? On behalf of lessee. कोई भी guarantee दे सकता है. So if you make a total of these two, this is called nothing but what's you? This is called MLP from lessee perspective. जो लीज पेमेंट करेगा ना अंडर द लीज कॉन्ट्रैक्ट, व्हाट आर द पेमेंट्स ही विल डू? दोज पेमेंट्स आर कॉल्ड नथिंग बट मिनिमम लीज पेमेंट्स. सी फॉर द lessor what will happen? For the lessor what will happen? Have a look. It is called lease receipts. Lease receipts. That is called lease rent only. Same amount would be there. It also includes what, sir? It also includes guaranteed residual value. Now please try to understand, this guarantee may be by whom, sir? It may be by lessee, it may be by a third party on behalf of lessee, on behalf of lessee, or it may be by any other third party. कोई भी बाहर वाला रह सकता है. So total of these things is called nothing but what, sir? MLP from the perspective of whom, sir? From the perspective of lessor. I am not closing it intentionally. So what is minimum lease payments? Confused नहीं होना है. For lessee it may be a payment, for lessor it is a receipt. Please try to understand. So minimum lease payments are nothing but under the contract what you are agreeing to pay me. If I am the lessor and you are my lessee, पूरे स्टैंड में मैं lessor हूँ, आप मेरे lessee हो. When you are agreeing to pay me, those agreements में whatever the payments are written, those total amounts are called nothing but what, sir? MLP. So please be careful. Now just to continue one more thing here. To this MLP, if I add unguaranteed residual value, मतलब any residual value for which there is no guarantee is called unguaranteed residual value. The total of this is called nothing but what, sir? Gross investment, or you can say gross investment, or you can also say gross inflows. बोलता हूँ धीरे धीरे, there is no hurry. Gross investment, or you can also say what's, sir? Gross inflows. Gross investment, or you can also say what's, sir? Gross inflows. बताता हूँ. Sir, take an example. Let's take an example, sir. सुनना है आराम से please. Under lease contract between X and Y, where X is a lessee and Y is what, lessor. x क्या है, लेसी है, y क्या है, लेसॉर है. ओके, so y gives the asset, and x makes what, sir? Lease rentals. He makes payment of what, lease rentals. The contract is say for 5 years. The contract is for how many years? 5 years. The lease rent at the end of each year is how much, 1 lakh. Examples, the lease rent at the end of each year is how much, sir? 1 lakh per annum. And what is the guaranteed residual value? The guaranteed residual value is say 50,000. When, sir? At the end of 5th year. At the end of 5th year. And how much is unguaranteed residual value? The unguaranteed residual value is 10,000. Matlab the total estimated residual value is how much, sir? 60,000. Out of which how much is guaranteed? 50. How much is unguaranteed? 10,000. Now if you substitute these figures upar, you will understand what is the meaning of this. Have a look, sir. So what I can do, I can take a small eraser to make you understand. Now how you will substitute this to make it an answer? Have a look, sir. I will explain it. So what is the lease rentals here? 1 lakh, 1 lakh, 1 lakh, 1 lakh, 1 lakh over a period of how many years? 5 years, right now. So this should become how much, sir? 5 lakhs. बोलो ना सर, ये कितना बन जाएगा आपका? 5 लाख रुपए बन जाएगा, right? Now, what is the guarantee given? 50,000 guarantee is given. Therefore, what is the MLP here? 5.5 lakhs is MLP. Am I clear? Now, for the lessor, what is the lease receipt? He will receive 5 lakhs. How much is the guarantee given? 50,000. So, how much is the MLP? In my example, same 5.5 lakh. How much is unguaranteed receipt value? 10,000. Therefore, what is the gross inflow coming to the lessor? It will be 5.6 lakhs. I hope I have given a clear cut understanding to you right now. Son mein aa raha hai, sir? Now, some more things to understand, sir. If you observe, son mein aa raha hai na? So what terms we have learned, sir? The terms that we have learned is nothing but what, First one is we understood what is lease payments. Do you agree? We also understood what is a minimum lease payments. We also understood what is guaranteed residual value. We also understood what is unguaranteed residual value. We also understood gross investment और what, sir? Gross inflow. ये सब चीज़ें हम लोग समझ गए यहाँ तक तो, ठीक है ना सर? इतना तो हम लोग समझ ही गए. Now there are some more terms that we need to understand. That is point number F and point number G. ये दो चीज़ भी है, ध्यान से सुनना है. Point number F is nothing but what, सुनो please. Point number F is nothing but see these two things can be asked in exam. ये एग्जाम में पूछेगा, ध्यान से. ये दो चीज़ एग्जाम में पूछेगा. Point number F is nothing but internal rate of return for lessor. Question is what in by IRR? If you remember in FM you would have learned this concept. Internal rate of return. It is a rate at which the present value of cash inflows matches with what, sir? Present value of outflows. I'll write here. It's a rate of interest. It's a rate like 5%, 7%, 10%, 12%. It's a rate of interest at which present value of cash inflows will match with what, sir? Present value of cash outflows. So this part we can understand through a problem, don't worry. Right now, one more thing that they can ask is unearned finance income. Unearned finance income or interest. Now try to understand why this is called unearned. See, if I am the lessor, if I am purchasing asset for 10 lakhs and I am giving to it for a period of 5 years, do you really feel I will collect only 2 lakhs, 2 lakhs, 2 lakhs, 2 lakhs, 2 lakhs over a period of 5 years? No. I will charge interest also. No. That interest earned by me in this contract is called nothing but what, unearned finance income. Question is why it is called unearned? Because this we are ascertaining at the beginning of the lease period. This we are ascertaining at the beginning of lease period. ये हम लोग बिगिनिंग ऑफ द लीज पीरियड में समझ रहे हैं. Thereby this is called nothing but what, sir? Unearned finance income. Who is earning this? Obviously this is earned by lessor. हमें क्लियर सर? ये कौन कमा रहा है? लेसॉर कमा रहा है. हमें क्लियर सर? So these are 6-7 terms that are relevant for problem solving. One is called lease payments, second is called minimum MLP, third one is called GRV, gross residual value, right now, sorry, guaranteed residual value. Fourth one is called unguaranteed residual value. Fifth one is called nothing but what, sir? Gross investment or gross inflow. For whom, sir? This is for the lessor. Sixth and seventh point is nothing but internal rate of return. Who earns here, sir? The lessor. In a lease contract, when I am giving the asset to you, you make me lease payment, so I earn on it. Right now, what is the rate of return that through which I am earning in a lease contract? The rate of return is called nothing but internal rate of return. This we can understand through help of what, sir? Through help of a problem. And unearned finance income is nothing but in this lease contract, what is the total interest that I am going to earn? The total interest that I am going to earn in this lease contract is called nothing but what, sir? Unearned finance income. Am I clear, sir? Like layman example, sir, you will understand. Suppose I have purchased the asset for rupees 10 lakhs. Right now, in this contract, I will recover 12 lakhs from you. That is 10 lakhs as a lease payments, 2 lakhs as a guaranteed residual value, plus another 1 lakh as a unguaranteed residual value. So total how much amount I will recover? I will recover 13 lakhs. But how much investment I have done? Only 10 lakhs. Therefore, this difference 3 lakhs is called nothing but what, sir? Unearned finance income. See, all these topics you can understand slowly only through problems. Problems आप लेंगे धीरे धीरे समझ में आएगा. Am I clear, sir? So these are some terms now. Now I'll tell you one small thing. Understand carefully. Now let's say an example I'll take you for understanding. एक example लेते हैं, ठीक है? An example. Mr. X has taken an asset on lease. Mr. X has taken assets on lease, right? The fair market value of the asset at the inception of lease is rupees 4 lakhs. The fair market of the asset at the inception of lease only is how much, sir? 4 lakhs. Okay. The lease period is say for 5 years. Okay. The lease rent at the end of each year is rupees 1 lakh per annum, and the guaranteed residual value is 40,000 rupees. Okay. This guarantee is given by whom, sir? This guarantee is given by lessee. Lessee बोल रहा है कि 40,000 रुपये तो मैं गारंटी पे कर दूंगा, अगर नहीं आएगा तो उतना तो पे कर दूंगा, राइट? Therefore, in this example, determine the classification of lease and also determine the value at which the asset should be recognized. The asset should be what, sir? Recognized in books of lessee if it is a finance lease. If the lease is a finance lease, at what value you want to recognize the asset in the books of lessee, also you provide that, right ना sir? अब इसको कैसे सॉल्व करेंगे? अब ध्यान से देखो. Am I clear with this information? What is the asset value? Only 4 lakhs. If Mr. X got money, he can simply go to the market and he can purchase asset for what value? 4 lakhs. But he is entering an agreement with some person to take the asset on lease for a period of how many years? 5 years. That to how much he is agreeing to pay? 1 lakh, 1 lakh, 1 lakh, 1 lakh, 1 lakh. Okay na? Okay. What is the guaranteed residual value? 40,000. Say the rate of interest is 12% per annum, right na? Because to find out the present value of MLP you need this, right ना? अब देखो हम लोग अब हेडिंग डाल रहे हैं, determination of present value of MLP. Sir, what is this, sir? I'll explain you. Don't be in a hurry. No, see, MLP is nothing but lease payments का total. उसकी present value find out करना है. See, when the payments are made, you know, first year end, second year end, third year end, fourth year end, fifth year end. अब ध्यान से सुनो, डोंट बी इन हरी, जस्ट अंडरस्टैंड दिस इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट फॉर एग्जाम. What is the lease rent? Lease rent per annum is 1 lakh, 1 lakh, 1 lakh, 1 lakh, 1 lakh. Am I clear? What is the guaranteed residual value? The guaranteed residual value कितना बोला था सर हम लोगों ने? 40,000. So 0.4 lakh. Therefore, how much payment is made? 1 lakh, 1 lakh, 1 lakh, 1 lakh, and how much sir here? 1.4 lakh. In सबका present value. Question is why you are driving it back, because we need to discount this right now. In सबका total is called nothing but what, this is called present value of MLP. Am I clear sir? In सबका जो total आएगा ना सर यहाँ पे, some values will come here. In सबका total is called nothing but what sir? Present value of MLP. How to find out that I'll explain you. Shall I have a look sir? So एक table डाल देता हूँ. Year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, what is the lease payments? Lease payments are 1 lakh, 1 lakh, 1 lakh, 1 lakh, and here 1.4 lakh. Why 1.4? Because it also includes 40,000 residual value. Okay, what is the PV factors at the rate of 12%? Now you know now how to find out the PV factor. It is 1 divided by 1.12. पता है ना ये? पता है ना आपको? A is equal to, पता नहीं सब future value. Okay, तो present value factor is how much sir? 12%. We'll find it. So it's 1 divided by 1.12. Equal to करेंगे तो आएगा, it is 0.8928. One more time equal to, it is 0.7972. One more time equal to, it is 0.7117. One more time equal to, it is 0.6355. One more time equal to, it is 0.5674. अब we need to multiply this to find out the what sir? We need to multiply this to find out what's the present value. Therefore present value of lease payments, we have to do total. आराम से करेंगे, कोई जल्दी नहीं है. It's 1 lakh into 8928. It is 89,280. It is 79,720. It is 71,170. It is 63,550. It is 56,740. इन सब का एक बार टोटल करता हूँ, जस्ट अ मिनट. हाँ, 89,280 प्लस 79,720 प्लस 71,170 प्लस 63,550 plus 56,740. Therefore, it is coming how much, Therefore, present value of MLP is almost equal to how much, 3,60,460 rupees. If you observe, this value is almost near to 4 lakhs or not, utna nahi hai, but still. Therefore, present value of minimum lease payment is how much, 3 lakhs. I think no, last figure I have taken wrong, right? I need to correct it. Ye figure mera wrong ho gaya. This is wrong. This should be how much, This should be 1,40,000 into 1,40,000 into 0.5674. It should be 79,436. So thereby the total should be 360,460 minus 56,740 plus 79,436. It should be 3,83,156. Therefore, present value of MLP is how much? 3,83,156, which is almost equal to what, sir? 4 lakhs, which is fair market value of the asset. Have a look, sir. If you remember, one of the condition of classifying a lease as finance lease is what, One of the condition to classify a lease as a finance lease is nothing but if the present value of MLP, ये condition याद है ना आप लोगों को? If the present value of MLP is almost equal to the fair market of the asset, you can classify the lease as what, sir? Finance lease. So if you observe in this example, if you observe, the present value of MLP is how much, sir? 3,83,156. And whereas the fair market of the asset is how much, sir? 4 lakhs. Is it very near or not? Yes, sir. Thereby the lease can be classified as what, sir? Thereby the lease can be classified as finance lease, and thereby the journal entry in the books of lessee would be nothing but what, sir? Leased asset. Account debit. TO to what, sir? Lessor. Account credit. How much? 3,83,156. 3,83,156. Why 156? Because you need to recognize the asset in the books of lessee at what value? At present value of MLP or fair market of the asset, whichever is low. So whichever is low, maybe which answer will come out? 3,83,156 will come out. Am I clear with this example? Sun mein aa raha hai, sir? So this is how you recognize the asset in the books of what, sir? Lessee. This was our example, sir. If you want, you can just once again go through. Sun mein aa raha hai? So we have answered both the questions. Am I clear, sir? So what will happen, sir? Now please try to understand what will happen. Principal point. If a lease is a finance lease, then what will happen? Two principal things you need to understand. If a lease is a finance lease, what will happen? In the books of lessee, in the books of lessor, in the books of lessee, asset is recognized at lower of the following values. Lower of the following amounts also you can say. A is nothing but present value of minimum lease payments, है ना भाई? Or B, fair market value of the asset, whichever is low. Thereby indirectly you can say here asset is not recorded in books of whom, in books of lessor, or it is de-recognized also you can say. If the asset is recognized here, we need to de-recognize the asset because same asset cannot be recognized in two books, right? So point number 2, depreciation. Yes, who can claim? Lessee can claim depreciation. Can the lessor claim depreciation? No, big no. Because when the asset itself is not recognized, how will you claim depreciation, right now? So third thing that you need to understand is nothing but lease payments is an expense for the lessor. Do you agree? But whereas lease payments is an income for the lessee. इनके लिए income है. Do you agree? Point number 4. Interest would be an expense for lessee, but whereas interest would be an income for the lessor. ये बैठे बैठे कमा रहा है, right now he is earning interest income. Do you agree? So these are the major points when the lease is classified as what, sir? Finance lease. If the lease is an operating lease, then obviously all this drama will not apply. वो भी बता देता हूँ. Am I clear? चलो. If lease is an operating lease, then what will happen? Nothing will happen. In the books of lessee, in the books of lessor, lessee books में क्या होगा, lessor के books में क्या होगा? Asset is not recognized. Asset recognize करेंगे, thereby no depreciation, thereby lease payments would be an expense. Simple. In this case, what will happen? Asset is recognized in the books of lessor. He will be eligible to claim what, sir? Depreciation. Lease receipts or lease payments would be an income. That's it, nothing more. वो regularly income कमाएगा. For him it's an expense, for him it's an income. So when the lease is classified as an operating lease, this is what will happen. But when the lease is classified as finance lease, this is what will happen. In exam, what they will ask you, they'll ask only this point. They will ask you when a lease can be classified as finance lease. You need to remember those 5 conditions. दे में मतलब क्या पूछेगा एग्जाम में, क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ लीज पूछ सकता है, वो एक पॉइंट है. पॉइंट नंबर 2, when the lease is classified as finance lease, how to recognize the asset? They may ask you this point also. The asset is recognized at what value, sir? At lower of the falling value. So this is what they will ask in your exam. ये सब पूछेगा, यहाँ तक सब पूछेगा ध्यान से. This is the most important aspect for your exam. Am I clear, sir? Sir, what about other aspects, sir, that we learn slow by slow? Even this is also very, very important. What is that? I'll tell you. 1 minute. Even this is also very, very important. Terms में हम लोग पढ़े थे ना, terms. Yeah. Even these things they will ask in your exam, that we learn through problems. ये भी पूछेगा एग्जाम में. So these are also most important. These two aspects. What is the internal rate of return for the lessor? And how much is the unearned finance income by whom, sir? By the lessor. ये दोनों चीज़ें हम लोग ध्यान से पढ़ेंगे, कोई जल्दी नहीं है. Am I clear up to here, sir? Right now, there is one more session on lease which is left, sir, which is called a sale and leaseback transactions, that will cover in a separate video. Okay, so all this is I'll share with you. Apart from that, this is the notes, sir. ये सब notes मैं आपके साथ share कर दूँगा. You can just casually go through if you want. This notes I'll share with you. Okay, ये notes आपके साथ में share कर दूँगा, पढ़ लेना आप लोग. This will help you to understand the concept more better. Am I clear, sir? This topic is pending. Which topic is pending? This topic is pending. That's called sale and leaseback. That will cover in a separate video. Am I clear, sir? This is also relatively very, very important for exam. But this will cover in a separate video because already video बहुत lengthy हो गया. आराम से pause करके देख लेना. Right? See you in the next video. Thank you.